Hi, my name is Mina Roby. I'm a health and wellness coach. In the video today, we're going to be making a delicious, versatile marinara sauce for pasta. And in this one, we're going to put beef in it, ground beef. So I just want to show the ingredients right quick. It's so simple. It's crushed tomatoes, garlic, some parsley, oregano, basil, and then some salt and pepper. And like I said, we're going to put ground beef in this one. So we're going to get our meat started cooking first. And this is just 1 pound of ground beef. It's an 80-20. When you see that on the label, you'll see that it says, they'll have different numbers on there. So the 80% and the 20% is what you're looking for, because it's the 80% is the beef and 20% fat. So that just gives you a little bit leaner. So we're going to brown the ground beef first. We're going to get it going while we chop our garlic. So this will take a couple minutes. And also, since water takes a good little bit to boil, we're going to go ahead and start our pasta water. So this is just a pot full of water. We're going to add a big handful of salt. You always want to season your pasta water really heavily. A restaurant chef I used to watch on television always described it as your pasta water should be super salty like the ocean. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to get that going, and then we'll chop our garlic. Okay, now the only seasoning we're going to put on our ground beef is just a little bit of salt, because the marinara sauce is so flavorful. So we're not going to add anything else to the beef. Okay, our ground beef is browned, and you're just going to cook it enough where you don't see any more red in it. And we're going to take this out of the skillet now with a slotted spoon, because then we're going to make our marinara sauce separately. And after it cooks for a little bit, then we'll add the ground beef back to it. So what we're doing this for is we're draining some of that fat off. The fat's done its job by helping with the seasoning of the meat, but now we don't want it anymore. So go ahead and drain your ground beef. Let it get in some paper towels here, get even more little fat off of it. And then the rest of the fat that's in the skillet, we're going to pour that off. We don't need it anymore. Okay, now, let me show you about the rest of the ingredients now. The garlic is the first thing that's going to go back in the skillet. We're going to chop up the garlic. 3 cloves of garlic. We're going to chop these, add them to the skillet with a little bit of olive oil, so they're going to cook a little bit on their own. Now this is a head of garlic. When you see a recipe that calls for a certain number of cloves of garlic, this is a whole head of garlic. This is how you'll find it. When you break it apart, you break it apart into cloves. So these are 3 cloves of garlic that we broke off of this head. We're going to chop these. We're going to mince these up and put them in the skillet on their own. Let them cook a little bit. You just give it a pound like this, and the skin comes off very easily. And you just chop it up. Our ground beef has been browned and drained, and we added just a couple tablespoons of olive oil to the skillet. So now we're going to add our 3 cloves of chopped garlic. And these are going to cook on their own just for a couple of minutes. We're going to get these almost brown. Then we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. But now, while this is cooking a little bit, we're going to add our pasta to our water. It's been simmering for a while, and remember it's got that nice big handful of salt. And this is any pasta that you want. Today I'm using spaghetti, but you can use angel hair, you can use linguini, and any type of pasta too. You can do shells, you can do whole wheat pastas or lentil pastas, but this is just like a good standard. Go ahead and break it in half, drop it in your water, and cook it according to the directions. It'll usually tell you how long for al dente. That means it's a little bit chewy because it's going to finish cooking too, after you turn it off. So this is probably going to be maybe like 11 or 12 minutes for this. So when it comes back to a boil, we're going to set our timer. And cook it for 11 minutes, and that'll be just about the time that the sauce is finished. Our garlic is brown, so we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. It's this big can of crushed tomatoes. And let me tell you, it's the texture of the tomatoes that are so delicious too that are crushed. If you don't have crushed tomatoes, if you have whole tomatoes or cans of diced tomatoes, you can put those, you can pour that out into a bowl and use like a potato masher and crush them up. Because it's just the texture and the smoothness of the crushed tomatoes that's so delicious. And remember, we have so few ingredients. We've got garlic here. Now here's our tomatoes. And this is our oregano, basil, salt, and pepper. It's a teaspoon of each, and then a half a teaspoon of black pepper. That goes in. And 2 tablespoons of the chopped fresh parsley. This is so delicious. Let me tell you how versatile this sauce is too. Today we're going to put ground beef in it and have spaghetti, which is spaghetti noodles, which is like a standard spaghetti. But you can also just have this marinara sauce without any meat in it. It's delicious. Any pasta that you like. We've put shrimp in it before. That's also delicious. If you have some chicken in your refrigerator, you can shred that up and put it in here. It's so tasty. Any kind of cheese sprinkled on top. And it's so simple too and fast. We're going to put the lid on this and just let it simmer for 15 minutes. The pasta will be done by then, and after it simmers for 15 minutes, we'll add the ground beef back, warm it up, and it'll be ready. Okay, our pasta sauce has been cooking for 15 minutes, and it is delicious. The entire house smells wonderful. We're going to add, it's been on simmer this whole time, so we're going to add the ground beef, the cooked ground beef, back to that. Just let it get all simmer together for a second. So you just stir it in. We're going to go ahead and turn it off because it's really hot, and we're about ready to eat. So we're going to stir the ground beef in with this lovely, delicious marinara sauce. Now we're going to drain the pasta. And how you can tell if your pasta is done, there's lots of different things that people have always talked about throwing against the wall. Don't do that. Just get a couple of pieces out, let them cool a little bit, taste it and see if it's the texture that you like. I've already done that, so I know that this is good. So be very careful, very hot. Pot holders, use your pot holders. We're going to drain it into a colander into the sink. So delicious spaghetti. Get the water out of it. Now we're ready to put our plate together. Here we go. We've got it drained. Some pasta in the middle of our plate. And you can mix it, you can put the whole pile of spaghetti into the sauce if you want to. It's whatever you prefer. Delicious marinara sauce with beef to our spaghetti. There you go. We've got some Parmesan cheese. This is just the prepared grated Parmesan cheese that you can get in the grocery store. You can also get the block of fresh Parmesan cheese and grate it yourself. It's also delicious. And there's your meal. It's easy and quick and very good for you. I hope you enjoy it.